How to do that? How can we achieve the final goal in 2050? Can you read it well? Because I see a lot of text. Well, if nobody's complaining and understands everything well, then it's okay. Okay. Well, there are some important conditions which are there to achieve our goals. There is a very big need imbalance in supply and demand. We don't want niche markets. If there is more demand than supply, we have a problem. And if there is more supply than demand, then you could say, where is the demand? So we have to talk to each other and see what is good to do. And we have in the Netherlands the initiative Sustainable Trade on Soy, IDH. I don't know if someone in this conference is talking on behalf of IDH, but this organization and the RTRS outreach part is supporting, of course, our goals with coaching and helping producers to obtain the RTRS status. And of course, from Argentina and Brazil already was stated what kind of problems and what kind of challenges there are. So I think both IDH and RTRS as an organization can help producers to solve these problems. And of course, what is really the problem to produce a certified RTRS soy? Is it really the difference between the RTRS standard and what is being done in practice? And I already heard an answer. I think some producers don't even know. I think some producers are a little bit scared of what do I have to do to be certified. But maybe it's more fear than a real problem in practice. So I would say, let's try to solve this problem and try to communicate well and help each other to find the solutions which are necessary. IDS, our foundation. We need, of course, more participants. What do we do with 4 companies and 1 association like mine with the feed companies, 100? We need all dairy companies, we need all meat companies, we need all egg, poultry, etc. So we are trying to stimulate the cooperation in demand on RTRS soy because we want a level playing field. We cannot work in the Netherlands with 5 partners and say, well, this is certified soy and now we solved all the problems. Well, we understand that this is stupid. We know that you need more partners, you need a worldwide agreement on what is certified soy, how is it produced, and all partners in the world which are really important for the soy production and the market should be involved. And then we see, happily, European developments. Of course, I am a member of the Council of FIFAC 2, and together with my colleague Ivan de Jager, which is well known and working within the RTRS organization, we both go for the outreach within the European countries on the feed industry level. And we know that, and I saw John Kelly should be here to explain, but I know that in the UK a lot of development is going on, and I expect a lot of it, and maybe next year we will see the results from that. So I have high expectations from the situation in the Netherlands, Belgium, UK, and I know that the French and the Germans are looking very, very careful of what is happening in our country. So at least you could say there is a big movement in the Northwest European countries towards this subject. And not only soy, I can say other commodities too. And then, how to achieve our goals? Well, we know that the soybean meal used for feed has small margins. The soy for food. When you ask a retailer, would you put a label on the product and say, well, this contains soy lecithin? Nobody will declare it. So it is very difficult to say, well, we have produced sustainable soy, we put it on the product, the consumer product, and then say, well, how can the consumer find if this is the truth, and if it's the truth, what is she willing to pay for that? Well, both answers are nobody wants to put a label on it, and nobody wants to pay for it. And on the feed industry, well, of course there's a willingness to discuss with each other how to solve the problems, because everyone knows that you have to push the supply and you have to push the demand, and it won't go out of itself, right? You should help it. But you have to do it with small margins. It's not a product like, and everyone can compare it with palm oil, in which premiums are paid from $10. Well, it's not the same in soy. So I think that's important to stress here. And we should be careful to compare it too much. And on the other side, we should not be scared to discuss this issue. We should discuss it with each other and see how can we help each other, instead of accusing each other of they don't want to pay, and when you have to pay you can say they don't want to produce it. So that keeps us in a steady way. My conclusion: it's not a big business issue. We don't talk about a gold mine, but just a way of producing. And we should be convinced, all of us, and we are convinced because we are related to the RTRS or very interested in it. I think that's important. And everyone has to invest, producers and market partners, in the next coming year to achieve the final goal, the production of mainstream RTRS soy. In the meantime, time is running, because in this process you have one chance. You cannot say let's wait a few years and we will see what will happen, because nothing will happen and everything will collapse. I think that's the truth. So time is running. We need agreements, at least from IDS in the Netherlands. On the European level, it's already stated with FEFA. On the national level, within IDS, more partners within IDS, IDH, the Initiative Sustainable Trade. It's a difference, one letter. The Task Force Sustainable Soy, the trade, finance and business partners working together. The Dutch government, ministries, universities, research, and the NGOs working closely together with the industry, which is very good, I think, in the Netherlands. And we have a narrow relationship with the NGOs which are in favor, and of course there are NGOs not in favor. That's the truth too. But also with these NGOs we try to communicate. It's not that they say, well, it's all foolish, we should neglect it. Don't do that. Just communicate and try to find out why they find out things, so maybe you can convince each other of each other's right. Then the next steps towards 2012 and further on. I think it's important because Ruud Thijsens, which should be a keynote speaker in this conference, I will take this. NEVEDI started the steering committee this, well, a month or two to go. And we want RTRS strategy towards 2015. Everyone knows 2015, it's a few years, but time is running, as I said. And this strategy group, the committee, is supported by two working groups, a buyers group and a certification group. And what we want to achieve this year, before October, October is at least the last month this year, before the next season starts, in June, July, we want, with the buyers group, negotiations with the largest suppliers in the Netherlands. Not only Cargill, Cepetra and Amagi, but more. We want also other suppliers to be involved in this discussion and see what they can do and see what buyers can do. So from this negotiation we will find a more realistic view towards next year and 2013 and 14. In August we want the verification of the IDs which are found out in the negotiations with the suppliers. What can we do with it? And meat industry and retailers, what do you think of it? Is this working for you? And what are you committed to this idea? And what are you willing to pay for it? We have to ask them, of course, but at first there has to be commitment. We hope to have this verification in the month of August, knowing that there will be holidays, etc. But where there's a willing, we have to go. September, we hope to have an agreement on a stepwise approach towards 2015, which is accepted in the Dutch market. And of course we hope, and we shall also verify this with FIFAC, the European level. Of course other countries will be involved, but mainly this will be focusing on the Dutch market. From October we hope that buyers can negotiate with the suppliers about this issue based on that plan and seek for an implementation in 2012 and make already a draft planning and a forecast for 2013 and 14, so that it won't be fantasy to say we want 100% RTRS soil in 2015, but we want to make it concrete, we want to make plans, we don't want to fake an idea, we want to be very realistic. And then one picture I could find in my private pictures, so I thought let's make it a little bit. That's my second son, and it was, I think, a party or something. We had a full table, and now the title of today was "The table is ready." I thought let's take this picture. The table is ready, it's there. And my end question is, are you hungry? Thank you very much.